Alright, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Variety Live, our random weekly live stream where I just talk about random stuff that may or may not have anything to do with anything with you guys in real time here on YouTube. Just usually most Sunday nights at whatever random time I feel like doing it. Overall, none of this really makes much sense. I usually use just anything that's kind of happened during the week. Whether that's things I did on the channel or just news going on as some kind of topics to help us get started, but it always ends up being pretty dang random. The last few ones were extremely dark over in this corner, but I kind of solved that problem for the time being. I got a lamp right here shining in my face. It appears on the screen that that's mostly solved the lighting problem. I mean, there's a little bit of shadows, but I, for the most part, like the way it's set up. Just a second. Apologize if you heard some noise there, unnecessarily loud noise of me touching the microphone. But anyways, yeah, a little bit of shadows and stuff, but overall I like the way this lighting is. The only problem is this now has a lamp bulb shining directly in my face. So that is going to start to hurt my eyes. I'm going to have to look. Well, if I'm looking into the camera, it's not that bad, but just every time I look up, it's right there. So I probably still will end up investing in some kind of studio lighting at some point just to kind of get the same general brightness of the area, but without it blasting into my face and gouging my eyes out like it is right now. But yeah, that was an unnecessarily long intro just talking about a freaking light. I mean, last time you guys said that the lighting was pretty good, but I went back and watched it. It was just a little too dark. Not exactly the aesthetic I'm going for on this channel. I mean, you can tell by the logo that it's nice colors, which, by the way, I did not make that logo. Somebody who was a fan of the channel for a long time that used to comment on all my videos and all that stuff actually made that logo. I actually don't remember his name because he hasn't been on the channel in so long, so I forget to give him credit. If he shows back up, I'll recognize him. Whew. Aight. And like every time I do a live stream like this, I say I want to use OBS. I never use OBS, and I'm back on Chrome, just on the live streaming website, which I will say I don't like Chrome, and I don't like that this forces me to use Chrome. It doesn't actually, Safari is not a supported live streaming thingamajigger for the web streaming service on YouTube. But that won't be a problem once I, actually get OBS like I've been saying I'll do for quite some time, but never actually did. All right. Sweet. And then we got the problem of me looking down at my computer screen and not making eye contact with the camera. That's not exactly anything new, though. So let's see. What's been going on this week? So we had the Super Mario Maker 2 Direct that I still have not watched yet. So no spoilers. First one to spoil that gets, I don't know. I will legitimately ban you from the stream chat for the night if you spoil the Super Mario Maker 2 Direct, because I haven't watched it yet. But it's a spoiler-free zone for that. But I don't know. It'll probably be a fun game. We already know there's a lot of new stuff coming just from the reveal trailer back at that random Direct that we had in March. My hair's being stupid right now, but it's cool. I just made that worse. Anyways, yeah. These live streams always end up being a lot of me just kind of saying So that's interesting. Yeah, good stuff. All right. Yes, I'm sure Super Mario Maker 2 will be a fun game. Not sure if I'm going to get it launch day yet, just because I have other things I gotta spend money on. Money budgeting. That's always fun, especially when you don't have a sustainable income. Don't have a job. My money comes from wherever it comes from. But anyhow, I don't know. I haven't really been following much Nintendo stuff recently or been playing many Nintendo games or anything, which is kind of what I built most of the channel on so far. So that's noof. Joy-Con's still breaking. I mean, that's kind of been a continuity with the Switch since launch. So that's a thing. The timer here, and by that I mean on my live streaming window, I get a little timer that I'm pointing at it now, but my computer screen is down here. Anyways, it tells you how long you've been streaming, and for whatever reason, every like 30 seconds or so, it'll like skip a second. So it'll like say 22 seconds twice or something like that, and that just really bothers me. It just did it again. It said 507 and then just glitched back to 507 again after a second. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, that's neat. In the tech world, pretty much the entirety of iOS 13 is getting leaked out like crazy. I know some basic details, but I'm trying to ignore most of the big stuff because I really think it's fun to watch Apple's keynotes in real time and kind of see all the stuff get announced in real time. So I usually try to not pay much attention to leaks. I mean, it's impossible to completely ignore it because it's on like headlines and stuff. Like I know about dark mode and stuff like that, but I want to keep most of the features under wraps. So when I actually watch the WWDC 2019 live stream or the keynote, I'll actually be able to see and all that stuff in real time, not already knowing about it. But if you do just want to know about it, I hear that it's been leaking like crazy. We pretty much know what iOS 13 looks like already. We know a little bit about watchOS 5, and we don't know much about the new macOS software from what I'm aware. tvOS is just kind of a joke at this point, which is unfortunate because I got an Apple TV 4K a few months ago, and I enjoy tvOS as an operating system. It just doesn't give as much love when it comes to software updates and things like that going on, which is quite unfortunate, I have to say. All right, what else is going on? Yeah, iOS 12.3 dropped. Yeah, that was my exciting, triumphant return to YouTube, was with a video of me downloading a software update. I mean, how intriguing and amazing is that? Anyways, but yeah, I probably picked a bad time to drop that though, because this coming week is exam week, which means I'll be back to it studying that kind of garbage. So it may not be till this coming weekend that you see anything else on the channel. I just didn't want to wait that long to drop another video, so I was like, I'll just make one real quick. That's neat. So as per usual, that's pretty neat. But yep, that's it. What else is going on? So this usually works when I run out of things to talk about and there's no one in the chat, which there is no one in the chat right now. I'll just roll over to some random article on Google and just see what's rocking and rolling. This one looks interesting on Forbes. Nintendo shortens load times by overclocking the CPU in the Switch. That sounds like bad news. Nintendo has relaxed the limitations placed on GPU clock speed in the Switch. Mortal Kombat 11 plays significantly better on docked with the new 460 megahertz GPU clock. Apparently that's up from 384 megahertz before. Apparently that cuts like 2 seconds off of the Breath of the Wild wait times and like 5 or 6 seconds off of the loading time on Super Mario Odyssey. So that's neat, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Cool. Just the Switch was already kind of having overheating problems, so I'm not sure overclocking was a great idea, Nintendo, but whatever. What else? Not much going on anywhere else. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I start these live streams, I have trouble figuring out how I got the last ones up to like 40 minutes, but then once you get rocking and rolling, you kind of get rocking and rolling, and that's kind of what happens. But yeah. So I didn't do good. Usually I do good like thinking about what exactly there is to talk about before jumping into a live stream, so I don't end up here just awkwardly sitting in front of the camera saying if we don't have anybody in the chat. But yeah, I wasn't as prepared this time around, which is unfortunate for me. Yeah, I know you guys all just came to hear me stand in front of a camera and hum my way through the Super Mario Maker 2 trailer music. Sounds sweet. Oh yeah. Today I did go and see Detective Pikachu, which I'm not sure exactly what I was expecting going into it, but it was not a bad movie. I mean, I wouldn't say it was an amazing movie everyone must see, but if you like video games, Nintendo, and Pokemon in specific, I would definitely recommend you go watch it. I mean, it's a good watch. It's not a bad movie. It's got a kind of cliche plot. It's pretty dang predictable, but it's not a bad kind of predictable. Like there's some movies that are so predictable they're just boring to watch. This one was relatively predictable, but still managed to keep you on the edge of your seat at the same time, if you know what I'm saying. I don't want to spoil the movie for anyone who hasn't seen it, because I just now got around to watching it today, and it's been out for like a week or two at this point. But yeah, not too bad of a movie. It was pretty short though, only an hour and 46 minutes, which in a world of 3-hour movies, it felt a little short. When it was over, I was kind of like, wait, that was it? But I guess movies kind of used to be around that length. It wasn't until recently we started having these just every movie had to be 3 freaking hours long, you know? So that's a thing. Actually did end up seeing the Sonic movie trailer. I was trying not to ever watch that on the internet. It would pop up like I've seen like the first 30 seconds of it before, because it would pop up before YouTube videos, but I would always click skip this ad before watching the full thing. But I ended up having to watch the full thing today because it was on our Detective Pikachu, the previews beforehand. It showed that, and I don't even know. I feel like it's gonna flop really hard, but we'll see what ends up happening. There are good ways to adapt things into movies, and there are bad ways to adapt things into movies. And I think Detective Pikachu was a pretty good way to adapt a video game franchise into a movie, whereas I haven't seen the movie, so I can't judge. But based on the trailers, this Sonic movie seems like a very poor way to adapt a video game into a movie. But we'll see how that works out. Pokemon kind of had stuff going for it, though, because it already was a cartoon. Some people call it anime. I'm going to roll with cartoon. It already had a cartoon series. So, I mean, it was kind of already adapted to that, screen format. They just had to make it live action, which I do have to say there were some scenes in Detective Pikachu that felt very, they were just kind of weird with the live action, if you know what I mean. But it wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought the entire time I'd be like, that doesn't look right. But for the most part, it actually looked pretty nice the way they adapted something that's very cartoony into live action. They did a pretty good job, I will say. So that's pretty sweet. Maybe I'll have a Detective Pikachu review on the channel later. Maybe I never will. Who knows? Who knows? The answer is no one. So yeah, I do see we have viewers. Just one, it says right now. But a lot of times YouTube likes to be BS and tell me I have less viewers than I actually do. Like a lot of times they'll say 0 active viewers and there'll be like 3 people in the chat chatting with me in real time, and I'm like, that's not right. YouTube likes to be drunk about those kind of things. So I don't know how many people are actually watching, but if any of you want to like chat in the live chat, that would be nice. Kind of the whole point of why I do these streams is to have the real-time interactions with you guys that I don't really get otherwise. I know I don't have a huge fan base, but I know there are a couple of you guys, so if you're ever here, don't be afraid to let the chats go wild. Well, the depressing thing is I usually get more active chatting on when I'm live streaming like a game than I do just on these live streams. These live streams that are intentionally built for chatting, no one chats, and then I'll go to live stream some gameplay of Splatoon 2 or something, and people won't shut up in the chat. I'm like, there are other times for this. I'm trying to play a game right now. Well, I guess if you're live streaming the game, it's kind of imperative that you check the chat, which I do enjoy it. I'm not saying don't chat on my other streams. Whatever. So we've had this going for about 15 minutes. So to any of you who are either watching right now, or maybe you are watching this later, because this will be its own video later, live stream archive on the channel. I don't think anybody actually goes back and watches these all the way through, but if for some reason you are that one lucky guy who does today, then here's some news for you. On the 29th of May, 2019, in about a week and a half, I am going to be at Holiday World, so that'll be lit. I don't usually do meetups or anything, so I won't necessarily do that, but just letting you know, look out for some Holiday World content. It'll be my first time going, and I don't know if you know this about me. You might, because of the shirt and stuff. I wear a lot of these shirts, and I just don't talk about coasters a ton on this channel, but I am a huge coaster enthusiast, so can't wait to ride, specifically ride Voyage. That looks like an awesome wooden coaster, just airtime all the way through. The Legend looks like a pretty fun ride as well, and Thunderbird I've heard is amazing. I'm not quite as excited for that one for some reason, but I'm sure it'll still be very fun. The Raven just looks like but I'll write it for the credit. And we'll try out the water coasters too, because a nice thing about Holiday World is that your water park admission is included with your regular ticket price, which is nice. Some amusement parks do this. I know Carowinds did that, but they had so many coasters at Carowinds, and we were only there for like 3 or 4 hours. So we had to make sure we got to all the coasters, and Marathon Fury 325 maybe a little bit too much, and so we didn't actually get around to the water park, but that was included with the ticket there. I like when amusement parks do this because I'm not necessarily a water park guy, so if a water park costs extra on top of my park admission, I'm not going to pay to go do it, but I don't dislike water parks. I would enjoy to go, check out a water park, but only if it's included with the ticket. I'm not going to pay extra to get in. Some parks are in a weird situation, like I'll just say Dollywood, for example, because Dollywood's water park is like across the street from the park. So in that sense, it kind of makes sense as a separate ticket, even though it's annoying because Dollywood's ticket prices are already stupid expensive, and then it's another like $20 to get into the water park. And then you got to take a shuttle like across the street from the Dollywood theme park to the water park, which is kind of stupid. I don't know why they designed it that way. But parks like Holiday World, where the water park and theme park are literally right there connected, and then you get water park admission with a theme park ticket, I think that's the way to go. I mean, I know sometimes they want to try and monetize off of the water park. Some people will really want to go to both and buy both, but I think people are more likely to go to the water park when it's included with admission. I know I'm in that group. I never pay extra to go to the water park, but I will go if it's included in the ticket. So yeah, we'll probably. I heard Holiday World has a pretty good water park, so that'll be a cool thing to check out. And they also have water coasters, which are very fun. I've only ever ridden one water coaster. It was at a sketchy water park we went to in Ohio. It was like 5 minutes down the street from Kings Island. It was called The Beach or something like that. And all I remember is it was like a Saturday and it was completely empty, like a Saturday in June, and it was completely empty. So I wouldn't even be surprised if the place is like closed now. But it was really, really sketch, like probably the sketchiest water park I've ever been to. But yeah, we rode a water coaster there. It was pretty fun, except the raft literally like flew up a couple inches, and they had big like metal bars. I thought we were gonna pull like a verruckt and end up getting our heads decapitated, but we ended up being perfectly fine. So that was neat. So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be my first Gravity Group coaster and my first two CCIs, I think. Raven and Legend, first two CCIs. Voyage, first. What is it? First Gravity Group. I have ridden way too many B&Ms, but that's another B&M. My second wing coaster, and my first, or unless you count the Incredible Hulk, first B&M launch coaster and only B&M launch coaster. I'm really surprised B&M never did any more launch coasters because I hear the launch on Thunderbird's really good, but it's been a couple years and no one's done it another one, so I don't know if it was just expensive or something. I also haven't heard Holiday World installing a new coaster in a while, so I know it's not like an extremely popular park that has a lot of money to work with, but I think it'd be nice to see another coaster out of them at some point soon, see what they could pull off. Their lineup is a little bit weird just because it's like almost all wooden coasters, and then Thunderbird. I think Thunderbird was nice to kind of diversify their coaster lineup, give them a steel coaster. I think they need like some kind of standard steel looping coaster, like get them like a B&M floorless or something. I don't know. I'll leave that up to them. Oh yeah, I also get a 5th credit because of their kitty coaster. It's one of those Zamperla family gravity coaster. Like it's the 80 STD, which is the same one they have at Dollywood, and that thing is garbage. So this will be interesting. But yeah. Neat stuff. Kind of excited to go. And then I might go to Dollywood in July. I'm working that out with my parents, but they might take me in July, which is nice. So thanks, parents. And I still haven't told you guys, thanks to other circumstances, later in July and near the end of July-ish, I will get to go to Cedar Point. We're only going to be there a couple of hours, so I might not get to ride all the coasters there, but I'll try my best. I want to make sure that I get on Millennium Force, Maverick, and Steel Vengeance are really the main 3 I want to get on. You know, everyone goes crazy about like Raptor is kind of mixed on whether people like it or not. Magnum's pretty mixed on whether people like it or not. Most of the others are pretty mixed. I just want to make sure I get on Millennium, Maverick, and Steel Vengeance. And a lot of people go crazy about Dragster. I'm not super excited about that one. I mean, the launch would probably be amazing. Probably scare the crap out of me, but I'll ride it if I have time. But it's not a top priority coaster for me. I mean, it is a strata coaster, but I mean, there's a reason that people get more excited about the prospect of a Giga coaster than a strata coaster. If it was like a Giga style strata coaster with chain lift, airtime hill, bank turns, I'd be all down. But just go up and back down, not too interesting. Although again, that launch is probably stupid. So yeah, that'll be really nice if I get Holiday World. That's a new park. Cedar Point, that's a new park. And then love to go back to Dollywood at some point this summer to check out Wildwood Grove and ride Lightning Rod again. That's always exciting. Lightning Rod is completely my number 1. And I want to ride it at least one more time at some point this summer before I go to Cedar Point. That way I can have a fresh in my mind to compare to Steel Vengeance, see which one I like better. I mean, you'd think Steel Vengeance would be the unparalleled win, but Lightning Rod has arguably better pacing and stronger airtime from what I've heard. And I have heard some people online that have ridden both and do prefer Lightning Rod. But that's the thing about the coaster community. We can all have unique opinions. There are some people that get pissed off about other people's opinions, and they suck. They can just leave. I feel like a lot of the coaster community is becoming intolerant of opinions, but it didn't used to be that way. I remember just a few years ago when that was a big thing in the community, was everybody have their own unique opinion. But now it's like if you say anything other than like your number 1 can be Steel Vengeance, Lightning Rod, El Toro, and possibly what is it? Possibly Fury 325, depending on who you talk to. And if your number one's not one of those four, then someone's gonna fight you. That's how it kind of is now, and that kind of sucks because everyone should be able to have their own opinion. My friend Nathan, who is also a big coaster enthusiast, his number one right now is Expedition Everest, and I guarantee some people would kill him for that since he's ridden the voyage. But I mean, it's his own opinion, guys. Chill. Everybody likes different coasters for different reasons, so we need to stop hating each other for it. Although most of the community on this channel are not enthusiasts and probably have zero idea what I'm chatting about right now. But hey, it doesn't matter. I know some of you guys are, but you never watch these streams. It's like I have some enthusiasts that are on the channel, but they tend to only show up when I upload a Dollywood vlog, and then they disappear again. In fact, when I uploaded my ranking of the Dollywood coasters, they didn't even show up for that. They literally showed up for other thing. Although I do want to adjust my Dollywood list since the last time I've been. I don't remember exactly what I ranked, but I remember I put Wild Eagle at number 2. Which I'd say that's true during the summer. Wild Eagle rides crazy during the summer. That was awesome. But during the rest of the year, Wild Eagles, I think Tennessee Tornado is a little better. And then I wanted to move up Thunderhead a little bit and maybe Mystery Mine. I don't even remember what my order was. I just remember I want to change it now. But I'm going to wait till I go back again. That's the thing about me. I can never make up opinions about things. That's why I hate making lists and ranking and stuff, because my opinions are constantly changing. So like every time I go to a park, I'm going to have to make a new ranking the coasters, especially a park like Dollywood where the coasters are so like similar. It's just hard to decide. But yeah, I still haven't made a ranking of the coasters at Disney World. People have been asking for that. Some people have asked for that, and I never did it. So maybe I'll do it at some point. Who knows? Who knows? But about 30 minutes in, I might go ahead and cut this off at some point soon, because I will. So if any of you who are watching right now have any questions for me, have any comments, have anything you want me to talk about, anything like that, you can stick that in the live chat over there, wherever it is on your screen. Type it in. Don't be shy. I don't bite. And if not, I'm going to be out of here in just a couple of short minutes. So if you have anything to say, speak now or forever hold your peace. But don't worry, I should be back next week. Definitely be back next week, because I will. Trust me. So yeah, this week, final exams, get through that, and we're ready to rock and roll with this channel for the summer. And my gosh, I'm gonna have some sweet content for the summer, and I really hope I'll be able to live up to what I just said. Because a lot of times, if any of you have been on this channel for a while, you'll know that I make a lot of empty promises. That's another thing I want to stop doing. I promise I will stop making empty promises. Does that count for anything for anyone? Anybody care? Anybody know? I don't even know. Anyone else think $10 a month is really overpriced to get magazines from Apple News? Because I think so. I definitely think so. Very much overpriced. I was going to go to RCDB real quickly and see if there are any Cedar Point coasters I missed. They have a lot. Although, interestingly enough, Cedar Point has 17 coasters. In Canada's Wonderland, Canada's Wonderland has 17 as well, which is interesting. Cedar Point arguably has better coasters, but it's just the fact people say Cedar Point has more coasters than any other Cedar Fair park. I'm like, that is wrong. Now that Yukon Striker is open, they actually have the same. Cedar Point and Canada's Wonderland both has 17. Although Canada's Wonderland has only closed one coaster ever, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to check that real quick. Canada's Wonderland. Yeah, they closed Skyrider in 2014. That is the only thing that's ever closed. Cedar Point has closed 16 different coasters. So if they brought back all their dead rides, Cedar Point would crush everyone else. But yeah. Interestingly, of all the scrap Cedar Point coasters, Mean Streak is the only one that was actually legitimate. Disaster Transport, I guess. But that doesn't really matter. Oh, they had a Schwarzkopf Wildcat? That's a lot of random crap I didn't know about Cedar Point. Now I'm going to stop before I end up looking at too much stuff here. Hello, Vinny Congetti. Thanks for stopping by. Definitely. I assume you're responding to my assertion that Apple News Plus is too expensive. I don't think anything ever could compel me to spend any money just to get magazines. If they Vinny, no idea what you're talking about with roller coasters. I figured, buddy. I figured. But if Apple had a way to bundle their services, like they got Apple TV Plus, Apple Music, and Apple News Plus, if they bundled those all together for a reasonable price, then I might be willing to pay that price and get Apple News Plus. But I have absolutely no intention on paying any amount of money just for Apple News Plus. I definitely want to buy Apple Music at some point because my free trial was spicy. They might be able to convince me to do Apple TV Plus as well if the shows are good enough, but nothing except for bundling the services together would convince me to go for Apple News Plus. Vinny, $75 a month for everything seems like Apple. Well, they couldn't do that because it would have to be at the minimum, at the max, $30 a month, because each individual service is $10 a month. So it wouldn't make sense to be $75 a month, unless you get like a terabyte of iCloud storage with that or something like that. Although iCloud storage is actually not priced that bad. It's like $2.99 a month for 2 terabytes or some garbage like that. So that would still be a ripoff. But yeah, if you guys don't have anything else to say, I'm going to go ahead and peace out of here. So any last words before I hit the haystack or whatever the heck you want to call it? Nope. Well, thanks for stopping by, Vinny, and being the only one that ever chatted here. I'll be back next week, hopefully. And although you may not see much content the next few days, hopefully it'll be here in the weekends. We're going to save this channel from the death that was me not doing anything. Peace out. Bye-bye. It should be like Mark Ruffalo now and like not end the stream and just film myself sleeping now. But no, I'll hit the other button. Peace out, guys.